Hello everyone and welcome to the second episode of our Snippet Manager tutorial. Now, in the last episode, what we did is we went through sort of planning how to program and how to build our kind of Snippet Manager program. And we kind of went over a simple conceptual design, 3 simple steps. We came up with some questions, and then the majority of the last video was researching how do we actually achieve these, or how do we answer these questions basically. And now in this video, hopefully we're going to be able to build at least the first section, which is reading in the keystrokes and kind of storing them. And of course, if we have more time, we will get through more. And of course, when we think about this, my program, just a quick refresh, you type in a Q, which happens to be an exclamation point greater than. This can actually be changed, and I will make it so that you can change it in your code. And then you type in a snippet, like cite is one of my snippets, and then you hit space, and then it will autofill it. And the reason why I have the space thing is because, for example, I think git or okay, because gh, for example, is my GitHub, my full GitHub, but ghu is just my GitHub username. So I have to make it so that you have an actual Q when to stop, because otherwise if I just type in GitHub or GH and it automatically fills, then I can never type the U. So that's why. So of course, that is how the program works. And the first step, logically, is we need to be able, in our program, to kind of store and read the user's keystrokes as they come in. So we know that the user has typed this, has typed this, has typed this, and this, and this. Like, yeah. So that's the first step. Now, again, since we have settled on using a library called nuts-js for keyboard automation and a library called iohook, my bad, for kind of reading in the user input, this is the library we're going to use first. Now, of course, this tutorial series is going to be going over a fully real-world application that I built, and we will be fully doing the research. Like I'm not referencing my code. I'm going to be basically rebuilding this from scratch, and to a degree, I'm going to have to relook through all of this documentation to figure out how to build it. And this is what I did originally. So iohook, now we have this library. Now for, when we're trying to figure out what we can do with this library, we look around the NPM page, which there's nothing too useful. Maybe, we're on the README. The next best place to look is the home page or the repository on GitHub here. Now, okay, there's an about section. Installation, we already have done that. Okay, there's nothing useful here either. So let's take a look at the code. Usually there's a folder called examples, which we do have, luckily. And then we don't want to use Electron, and Electron is a library that allows us to make desktop apps with JavaScript, my bad. And that is part of what makes JavaScript so freaking powerful. You can use it to write mobile apps, desktop apps, websites, backend servers. You can literally use one programming language to design a full-fledged application that goes everywhere. And that's exactly what Discord did. Discord uses Electron.js for the desktop app. I'm pretty sure they use React for their, in fact, yeah, I'm not going to get on a tangent. I'm pretty sure they use React for their website and they use React Native for their app. So they're literally using JavaScript to program everything. But I'm not 100% sure, but I'm fairly sure, given I know that they use Electron for their desktop. So we're going to go ahead and open up our example. And boom, this is our example. This is how we use the code. So we're going to come straight here into our index.js, which we created in the last episode. And we did an npm install to get these node modules. And we are going to skip the use strict. We don't need it. Const iohook equals require, and they use /index.js. The reason for that is because this is the iohook library, but for us, we're going to have to equals require iohook, and that will do the same thing. So now we want to basically take a look. We can check for iohook on mouse down, on key press, on key down, key up, mouse click, mouse wheel, mouse remove, blah, blah, blah. Let's try a couple of them. iohook.on, and then let's see, key press. And actually, hold on, I'm going to have to, oh wait, we are using PowerShell, perfect. I am going to have to kind of play around with this to figure out which one's correct. So we're going to check key press, and then I'm going to do a function, or if you happen to know ES6, you can do function, MSG, and then like that. or if you know arrow functions, then I'm just going to do that. You can use either one. And then we're going to console.log, we're going to put the message there, console.log key press, and then I'm going to copy this 2 times because I'm thinking it's going to be one of these 3. It's going to either be key press, or it's going to be key down, or it's going to be key up, or it's going to be all 3, and any one of them will work. So we're going to figure that out. Key up, and then key down. And then, of course, let's go ahead and open up our code. And then let's run it. Node index.js. Okay, there's an error. What do we get here? Cannot find error, or cannot find module iohook.node. No problem. That's just npm iohook. I'm pretty sure I installed it, but let's just make sure. Oh, oh yeah, okay. No, I am in the right folder. And we're just waiting for this node to install. In fact, I might cut this, I might not. We'll see. Weird. Might be because I canceled it the first time. We'll try it again. All right, this is a perfectly normal, I guess, problem. So I'm going to go ahead and trash the install, or trash the command line and create a new one. And I did that by doing Control-Shift-tilde, or you can do view, if this will show up. My computer's lagging for some reason. Yeah, okay, so I'm going to go ahead and cut here, and I'm just going to wait until this happens to work, and I will see you in a second. All right, so we're back. That only took a few more seconds, but let's go ahead and now do what we wanted to do. So let's go ahead and go into the MIS folder, snippets folder, and then 2, and then we want to do an npm install, just because it's apparently not installed, and it will install all of our packages. And then now we want to do a node index.js, and boom, it's running. So let's go ahead and try. Okay, my computer's really lagging now, and that's because, again, this running iohook twice. In fact, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and, I'm going to go ahead and shut off my current. Wow, okay, it's really lagging. I don't know how this is going to affect the stream, actually, or the recording, but there we go. Okay, hopefully that didn't mess up the recording too much. Basically what happened is I was running iohook twice, both on my actual snippet manager and on this version, and that was just lagging my computer for some reason. So now it's working. Let's go ahead and try typing T, J, all this, and nothing is showing. So that is weird. Let's go ahead and try to troubleshoot. Let's run it again. Just make sure that was okay. So that is not working. Let's see what's going on. That is why. So yeah, I jumped a little bit too fast. I was just looking at here, but then you see we have to start iohook. So we're going to go ahead and do that right here. There we go. Now we are starting iohook, and then let's rerun the program. There we go, key up, we already got it. If I go ahead and type T, we get a key down, key press, and key up. And it seems that all 3 work. I'm going to go ahead and use key press because if I type down T, I don't want it to necessarily be counted. So we'll just go with key press. And I'll go ahead and close that now. So yeah, we are now able to basically detect our user input in key presses. And what we're probably going to want to do is store it in some sort of variable like user input, and we can set it equal to an empty string. And then now we need to figure out how to kind of store the typed in character into our empty, or into our string. So I'm going to go ahead and console.log the MSG that gets passed into this iohook and see what that contains. So I'm going to go ahead and type in T, and boom. Okay, so I can see if you have a basic NodeJS, or if you have basic JavaScript knowledge in general, you should know that these curly brackets right here represent an object. And actually, if you didn't know that, you can probably check out my JavaScript for Beginners tutorial series, where I actually did go over an episode on objects. So yeah, an object is basically like a dictionary. It's this whole thing right here. and it has a couple entries. It has the shift key, which is false, alt key, false. So I guess these entries are for special keys. And then right here, key char or key character is 116 and raw code is 84. Now this is what I'm looking for, the raw code, and I'll tell you why. Let me go ahead and run this and type in W, and then let me close it. So W, raw code is 87. I'm going to go look up W key code. And if I type in W right here, 87 is the kind of web key code, which is used across the entire web. And it kind of denotes that 87 represents a W. In fact, a 87 also represents an uppercase W, but let me see, 119 key char. Let me figure that out right here. Yeah. Let's see here. Key codes in JavaScript, right. So actually never mind, we're gonna wanna use this key char right here because we can tell that right here, this W is 119, but if we type in a capital W, it's 87. And if I type in a capital W, it's 87, and a lowercase w is 119. So we're gonna wanna use that instead, which is the key char. So console log msc.key char, and we should be able to get the correct. Oh, nope. I guess I did something wrong. Let's go ahead and retry that. W, and that's why it's all lowercase. msg.key char, like that. And then boom, now we get it. www is 119, capital W 3 times is 87. So we're knowing what the user types in. And we can actually, let's look this up. Let's go ahead and figure out how to JavaScript key char to char. Right here, get character value from key code in JavaScript. Let's see, input bind this dot value string from char code right there. There it is. So let's go ahead and console.log, or let's create a new variable. Message character is equal to msg.key, or so it's equal to string.from char code, and then what we pass into this function is the msg.keychar, which is the actual character code 119. And what this function string.from char code will do is it'll convert 119 into a lowercase w. So we'll see that in action right now. So instead of printing out the key character, we're gonna print out msg.character, or msg character, like that. And if I type in www, capital W a bunch of times, hello world, boom. Notice hello space world space, like it's all working. So now we can actually get the user input. And let me see how we're doing on time here. Okay, we're about run out of time here. So yeah, we actually accomplished exactly what I wanted to accomplish. And I'm going to make a simple kind of like to-do right here. And then let's create a simple to-do. So we wanted to be able to read keystrokes, store keystrokes. We want, or not stoke, store keystrokes. We want to be able to process user input, and then delete, or process user input and then replace with snippet. And in this video we were able to get these first two finished. Oops, wrong key. We were able to get these two finished. Boom. So yeah, in the next video we will be going over the rest of these steps. We will be processing user input most likely. We'll take the rest of the next episode, and then after that we should be able to finish up our snippet manager program. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you want to keep checking these out, I'm probably going to actually make a playlist for this little key snippet manager, because this series is running a little bit longer than I thought it would. So yeah, I'll make a playlist which will be linked in the description. If you enjoyed the video, please consider giving it a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for notifications whenever I post new videos. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.